Welcome everyone. G here with Barry. This is a very unique webinar because we, intentionally only invited agents that are currently using our platform, not necessarily the team leaders that we normally speak with,
Right.
right? And so, really appreciate all of you guys joining because I know for Ylopo, while it is the front end for your website, IDX, and all that kind of stuff, like we try as much as possible to stay behind the scenes, right? We don't want you to log into multiple systems. We want to try to do as much of your stuff in CRM as possible. And I've certainly spoken to a lot of different agents on teams that say, "Oh, what's Ylopo versus Follow Boss? I'm not even sure, right? Like,
Right.
it's just all seems like it's one thing to me."
Right.
I think that that has been intentional to try to increase focus on
Mhm.
your part. But at the same time, with a large number of our tools, we've gotten requests from agents on teams, from team leaders themselves to make our platform more accessible to agents, right?
Mhm.
And Diva is one of the first things that we thought of that when we pulled the community would be most valuable to bring down to the agent level,
Right.
right? And in combination of Diva, we're going to talk about listing presentation as well, which I think is another extremely valuable tool that's being underutilized. That's really for the agent community, right?
Mhm.
Um, so let me get started. Today's agenda, we're releasing Diva to all agents.
And
So what
what
does
is
that
Diva?
what is Diva? Oh, I'm sorry. Diva stands for dynamic video ads, right? So these are ads that take your listings and convert them into really high quality video content that we can run on Facebook and Instagram and other channels, and that you can use in your own social media marketing, right? And I'll go into the details of exactly what that looks like. So first, we're going to talk about Diva for agents. And when we say, Diva for agents, what that means is that in the past, if you wanted to run an ad around your listing with Ylopo, the owner of the account, the administrator on your team, was the only one who could do that for you. You could not log into our platform, Mission Control, and do that yourself. We went through the effort to enable the ability for all agents that we can find on our platform to log in Mission Control and run your own ads. That's the difference,
Yep.
right? And the second thing we've done is we've integrated dynamic video ads, Diva, into your marketing and presentations seamlessly so that when these ads are run, you have the proof point to show to your seller that you're marketing their listing at the highest level and to all future sellers that you bring sophisticated marketing into their mix in terms of
Right.
your marketing strategy, right? And all of that takes you less than 5 minutes to set up. And that's what's great about it.
Well, and when we're building these products, we're thinking about the hundred and two few hundred people that are on this webinar right now. The You're sitting with your seller, and they're like, "Why should I hire you?" Right? And you're like, "Oh, I'm going to market the home." And if you don't do a good job of explaining that, you are going to sound like everyone else. And so our job is to not only give you the tools to run those ads for your clients that makes your sellers happy and generates buyer leads for you, but also that tool, that presentation tool that G is referencing, it helps you to say, by the way, here is an example of the ad and here is an example of the results. And so making that easier for you, your job is so hard already, to give you an easy button that runs the ads, creates the video, generates the leads, creates a report, all the things that you want to do. That's our mission. And this release is going to make it easier for you to make good on the promises you're making to your seller. And so I'm really excited about this. This is something we're using on our team with our seller clients, and we're generating leads off of it. And it's working fantastically well. So I'm pumped, man.
Awesome. So the goal of Divas, dynamic video ads, is to increase the exposure of your listing to get it sold faster,
Mhm.
right? It's to let your seller know they've partnered with the best in class listing agent. And it's to give you a leg up in winning these listing presentations. That's the objective that we had in mind when we built out DYVA, right?
Right.
So here's the way it works. So we have had many iterations of listing ads over the history, 9-year history of Ylopo, right? We started out doing the best we could, which is we take your photos, we put it into a carousel, we drop it on Facebook,
Hmm.
and the consumer can see pretty photos if they scroll through. And those still work, they're still good. But what we noticed is that as Facebook and Instagram and social evolved, it was moving more and more into video content, right? You can't even run a static ad, as an example, into Instagram Reels, which is probably 50 to 70% of how Instagram is consumed at this point. And the video format became really important to us. So as technology evolved, we said, okay, well, what if we took all of those photos and just shove them into a 30-second video, right? It's still the same photos. You're just, taking the photos and putting some sizzle around it in terms of transitions, etc. But at least it's a video format that you can use to advertise on all these channels. But, other than giving a lipstick on a pig, that didn't do much for these video ads, right? It was more of like getting them into the right placement. Well, once the AI revolution happened, we looked for ways now to make these listings truly come alive from a consumer perspective. And this has been the evolution of our 3D tour divas. So, first and foremost, how do you see your ads that you can run? We're going to send you a daily or weekly email, depending on when you actually get a listing. And that email will have a subject line of the address your listing of your listing, and your video ad is ready, right? So if you search for any of these keywords or you search for Ylopo, you're going to find this email that's going to show you the listing to run. And this is what that email looks like. And all you have to do is press this button, activate your ad, and boom, you're going to get into our dashboard. You can also go into Mission Control, which we'll link you to later, put in any MLS number, and it will find the listing and render as well. I would say most of our clients are using email at this point because it's a shortcut, links you directly to the ad. But of course, you can go on our back end and put any listing that you want in here as well.
And most of the agents are not logging into Mission Control. That's also kind of a subtle shift, giving agents that aren't the person paying the bill access to this marketing dashboard. That's also kind of somewhat new as well. And so if you haven't, that website there, ylopo.com/Agent DYVA, definitely something to check out because it's a great tool in your toolbox.
Yeah. Hey, Brady, a question for you. I assume that they need the agent needs to be logged into their Stars account, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, cool. So you will get to a login screen even from the email itself.
Uh, from the email itself, it'll take you to the correct listing, but you do need to be logged into
You do
Star.
need to log in. Okay, so you'll need to remember what your login is for Mission Control. And if you don't, just press forget password and then we'll get it to you, right? So you do need to be logged in because we want to make sure everything has security. So from here, you're going to get to your launch configurator for Listing Rocket. We're going to just show you one image so you know this is actually your house. We pull everything else from the CRM. We want to know what your objective for this ad is. Do you want the most exposure, the most people watching this listing, or do you just want leads, right? My recommendation typically is to go for exposure, right? Because your goal is to get as many people to see this listing as possible. If you wanted leads, there's a lot of ways you can generate leads. Google ads, Facebook ads, etc., that are more efficient than just showing consumer one listing, because chances are they want to see a wide number of homes. But if you just wanted leads just for this listing, you can certainly do that. You can select leads as an option, and we give you a bunch of other subtler options like music, etc., that you can look through. All of this takes you, all of like 2 clicks, right?
Well, go back real quick. I'm gonna give you guys the agents, like what I tell my agents to do on this screen. If you have a seller that you need to impress, like we need to impress all of our sellers, but we have some that maybe they're high needs, maybe they have unrealistic pricing. What I love about exposure is you're going to have a ton of views, like a whole bunch more views. and you're going to have clicks, and you're going to get some leads possibly, but the idea there is with all of that exposure, you can like weaponize that exposure because we're going to provide you with a report that says, look how many thousands of people looked at your house. Look at how many people clicked on it. Look at how many people decided to ask for more information. Look how many people took the fourth step and registered. Exposure magnifies all of the top of funnel stuff, the views and the clicks. The leads are a more targeted audience, right? To G's point, so the views are going to be less because this is Facebook's opinion of people that are likely to buy a house in that area. And you're going to generate more leads, but to G's point, there's not going to be as many, because how many home buyers do you know that are on Facebook that know exactly the type of home that they want? That's the thing, right? That they see this house in Chesapeake, Virginia, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's the one. I'm going to put my phone number in. So it's not a good or a bad thing. It's a strategic decision. What best serves this moment for my business right now? And there's actually not a right answer. And I wanted to give you guys that clarity because for most agents, to G's point, exposure wins the day. Because if you need a price reduction, you can take this data and say, look at how many thousands of people I'm running ads to. I am doing my job. And we haven't got an offer yet. Let's talk about possibly a price reduction. So use those two wisely based on your business needs in the moment.
100%. Last thing is you're going to just confirm your contact information and put in a budget for the video. The default is $95, right? Like it's not much, and that includes all of your ads and everything is
and
included.
The media as well, like the ad
media
cost.
ad, everything. Yeah. So once you click launch, this is going to go out into the world, right? So last step, if you haven't previously as an agent, you're going to need to put in your billing details. And this is one of the big changes with the DYVA platform, which is that we allow you to pay for your own ads, right? So you don't have to go to your team leader and say, hey, can you run this ad for me? Take it out of this or that, and you track all of the payments. You just put in your own credit card here, it's saved, and it's going to run. So
that's huge. That saves everybody a lot of time. If you're a team leader on this call, what we just said is you don't have to be in the billing loop anymore. And if you're an agent, you don't have to have that discussion with your team leader. You get an email, you click a button, you run the ad, game over. And that honestly, that saved my agents so much of a hassle. They ended up using it more because it's easier for them to do their job. Yep.
And I'm going to get to what this actually looks like in a second, but I just want to frame this for you. For $95 on DYVA, what you're going to get is about on average, 4,000 people who see your ad, 1,500 people who actually view the video, right? Watch the video. 300 people will click on the ad and 5 people will register, right?
Is that exposure or is that leads?
I think this is a blend across the two. I'm not 100%.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. But this is the general stats. So, if you can go to your seller and say, hey, in 2 weeks time, 4,000 people, targeted people on Facebook and Instagram saw your ad, right? I think that's a pretty, strong exposure statement to make, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, and when you're with the seller and you're trying to win the listing, you don't just say, I'm going to put it on Facebook. You say, I have hired one of the most advanced digital marketing firms in our industry. And if you give me the honor of selling your home, I'm going to hire them. I'm going to contract them to run targeted ads to home buyers in our market. And here's an example of another one that I ran. And you pull out an old report from another listing. It really speaks to your credibility as a marketing professional. And again, all you did was click a button, put in your credit card, and spend $95. So it's a huge win for you.
Awesome. All right. So let me show you what these ads actually look like, right? What we're doing on our platform is we're going to take all of the photos from your listing, right? You're not uploading anything. We're just pulling it directly from the MLS, and we're taking those videos. We're using the state-of-the-art AI that's available, and we're converting them into walkthrough 3D videos. So here's some examples. All of this is 100% rendered from your images. Let me play you one more.
Welcome to 1625 Cuddy Sark Road. Experience the epitome of outdoor living with this expansive deck that seamlessly extends from the home. Perfect for hosting summer gatherings or enjoying quiet mornings, this space offers ample room for relaxation and entertainment with its elegant design and comfortable convenience. This spacious outdoor deck is perfect for entertaining, featuring a charming patio set where you can enjoy sunny afternoons.
So I think we're still piloting this narration feature. If I'm correct, right, Brady, that's not released?
That's correct.
Yeah, but you can see where we're going here. We're able to translate these listings into videographer level videos of your home. And what we're working on now is we're using the listing description and we're using the photos themselves to add narration into the video so you can drop it right into social, right into your marketing. And it is essentially a walkthrough of the entire property, right? And all of this is done in the 2-3 clicks that I just showed you above, right? It's really, really remarkable technology. And you saw the efficacy of these ads. They reach a ton of people and they bring a lot of exposure for the listing, and they result in leads as well. So once these ads start running, we don't want to just show ads, right? We want to show results. And so once the ad is running, you're going to be able to get real-time, beautiful reporting around this home that you can send to your seller, right? This report right here is a hyperlink. It's a PDF, whatever format you're looking for. You can text, you can email it to your seller, and it's going to show them all of the stats around your property that you're marketing, and also the video that's actually running, right? So they get to see the level of detail your marketing is getting to. Barry, any thoughts on how you use this?
Well, I've alluded to it, but this is a visual representation, and we're actually doing some new versions of this right now with our the presentation tool inside the Ylopo ecosystem. So you'll be able to create different versions of this. But if you go on a listing appointment and you hear from the seller that interviewed several agents, everybody kind of sounded the same. Which, if you've never heard that, you probably haven't been on enough listing appointments, because at some point in your career when you're first starting out, that happens. This is an example of you have to just sit with your seller and you don't just say, I did this. Using this data to help set your seller apart or set your listings apart and your marketing apart is a key strategy in making sure that the seller knows that you're different. Yeah, so it's huge.
So what we're seeing is that consumers prefer 3D to 2D dramatically, right? When we take our 3D videos and we stack it against our videos that are just basically photo carousels, we see a 3x higher click-through rate and 2x higher lead generation rate, right? So the 3D is not just, for show, right? These are actually leading to results. Now that you've seen the DYVA platform, I want to show you something that Barry spearheaded for us, which is how you actually use these ads inside your listing presentations. So if you guys don't know, if you go to Ylopo or your website, .com/tools, you're going to get access to one of our newer features, which is our listing presentation builder, right? This is a customized report that you can generate for every listing that you go to. And it is really rich in detail. I'm not going to go over all of the different pieces. Let me play a short video that shows you how this looks. And by the way, once the team leader or your admin creates a template, you won't have to create any more templates, right? It can be totally locked. So you can see this report has like 15 pages to it, right? And obviously you can customize, remove, add whatever you want. But we want to give you a lot of options.
Yeah, and
And
that tool and several others. If you go to whatever your main Ylopo website is, we call it the branded site. So whatever like one of mine is like buyingva.com. You just put / and then the word tools, and you'll see the A to Z Design Studio. It's a full presentation tool, and some of you might be like, "Well, I'm using this service or that service." And I get that. However, what makes the A to Z Design Studio so unique is it integrates MLS and marketing data from ads you're running, and like it puts your recent sales on a map. So it's not just a PDF builder. That's not compelling enough for us to spend time developing. It literally integrates live data into your presentation. So what my agents do is they actually will take the A to Z Design Studio, they'll take a PDF because they're able to pull in, for example, if you ran a DYVA Listing Rocket, it'll pull in that ad into the listing presentation with the ad results and say, here's one that I just ran in this area. Your Google reviews, you saw him editing those. It pulls your Zillow or your Google reviews into this A to Z Design Studio. So it's bigger than just creating PDFs. It's PDFs that look like you just created it yesterday because the data is so up to date. It's pretty compelling. Market data too, by the way.
yeah, and exactly as Barry said, I mean, we combine data that we can pull from different data sources, like, AVM data. We're pulling, as Barry said, the integration of the ads that you are running directly in here. And you can show this on an iPad, whatever you want, right? And they can actually see the advertisements that we're running for you. So when you run a DYVA listing or listing rocket, that will show up here in your social ads,
Yeah, and from
right?
a sales perspective, if I'm up against another agent and they bring out their dusty listing presentation that they created 2 years ago, and they obviously haven't updated their headshot, and you're coming in with up-to-date market data from last week or yesterday, you already have an edge. And so, these are these little things that pile up to more listing appointment conversion. So you definitely want to check that out.
Awesome. Yeah, and different data that we're pulling in, not just from kind of aggregate sources, but specifically from your teams and agent CRM, right? So we'll actually show you, hey, for this listing, I have XYZ number of buyers in my database that have looked at this home, right? So we're really integrating, best in class off the shelf data that we can buy with ads that you are running right now that shows don't tells what your marketing strategy is with data from your CRM and all of your Ylopo activities. So to turn on a DYVA, once again, check your email, see if your video is ready to launch, and then click activate ad. That's all you need to do. Or we have a QR code right here on the bottom on every page that links you directly to our mission control platform, and you can enter an MLS number, or you can activate a listing that we've already picked up for you right there on the dashboard.
Yep.
Awesome. That's it. We wanted to be short and sweet because we know you agents have actual work you need to do. Barry, any last words here?
Yeah, so when you see something like this, it's kind of like, yeah, all right, I'll get to it. I really want to challenge everybody that's listening to me right now. You've heard this theme as G is talking about these two tools, right? The DYVA Listing Rocket and being able to run these ads merged with the A to Z Design Studio and creating compelling reports. I really want to challenge you guys to work through the scary and the difficult process of trying something new. I want you on your next listing appointment to spend 2 days before you go on the appointment, and I want you to use the A to Z Design Studio. For those of you that are not, able to, or maybe you don't have any listings, as Kiwi mentioned, if you have an agent in your office, you can run an ad on. When you run the ad for that property, it's under your subdomain, which means it automatically assigns, the leads automatically assigned to you. You don't have to worry about any routing or anything like that. And so as long as that agent in the office is cool with you running an ad, which they should be, but just run it by them, you're going to generate those leads. You're going to be able to fill out that report. And I am actively, week after week, doing something new in my business. And people think all the time that I love it or something. I actually have to block time to work on new things because it's just very it's uncomfortable, right? And so I really want to challenge you guys over the next 2 weeks. I want you to run a DYVA Listing Rocket. I want you to generate a lead, and when the lead comes in, I want you, oh my gosh, to call them. And when you call them, I want you to say something casual. I saw you were interested in 123 Smith Street. What stood out to you about the property? Oh, you love the backyard. Oh, you hated the backyard. Whatever they say, tell me more about that, right? Get that feedback from the lead. Then what you can do is go to your seller and you can say, hey, Mr. Smith, I've been running an ad. 2 people commented on the swing set and how the swings are broken. And these are buyer leads that I'm generating off of the savvy marketing that I'm running for you, right? This starts to tell a story with your leads. And so I really want to challenge you guys to start using it. There's a lot of questions about their technical questions. They're like, what about using it in this way? Or I had trouble in this scenario. For those that aren't watching the chat, what would you recommend for someone that's trying something new? They're like, cool, Barry and G said to use it, I'm going to use it, and it doesn't work right or something goes wrong. What's the process there for them?
Yeah, great question. I'm going to put Brady on the spot here. Brady, what do you think is the best? Brady's the product manager lead on this product. What do you think is the best way for folks to ask those questions?
I think just get in touch with your CSM through your team leader or broker, right? So have your broker go and contact their support person, support@ylopo.com, or reach out directly to their known named CSM, and then they will help you out.
Yeah, I think, you could definitely email your CSM. You could email support@ylopo.com. All of those things get funneled to us on the product side as well. But if you're having problems with videos, you know what? Actually, I'm thinking about it. Probably emailing marketing@ylopo.com is going to be the easiest because that's the team that actually kind of makes sure the ads are running. And if there's a rendering error or something else going on, they can always render the video for you, right? So why don't use all of your support channels? But I would say if you ran a video, you didn't like it, there was an issue with it for some reason, email marketing@ylopo.com, and one of our ad specialists will reach out to you.
All right. Yes, that's great. And there's a couple more questions. First, let me say this. If you are running the DYVA Listing Rocket for the first time and you have trouble, I also want to add, I'm not in the support team, but I have 2 teams. I've got a 100 agent team. I've got a 10 agent team. And I know how difficult and annoying it is trying something new in your business. If you hit a blocker, I want you to email me as well. It's just my first name, Barry, Barry @Ylopo. I'm not going to know how to fix it, but I'll be able to help escalate it into the team. And let's see if we can get this going for you guys, because I really want you to set yourself apart with these sellers. And I know for sure, because I'm using it actively on my team, the coaches, the realtors and residents team is going to come alongside you, and we're going to try to help. Sorry, G. Hopefully you don't mind me extending myself in that regard. And then 2 more questions regarding the coaches. We do have a question about the office hours. We're going to have a theme. So over the next 30 days, we're revamping the Wednesday coaches office hours on Wednesdays. We're going to be going deep on sellers. So you'll get an email about that. We have a question. Can you quickly, G, go back to how to run an ad from the beginning again? And then while you're going back to showing how to run an ad from the beginning again, somebody asked, are you able to run ads on new construction homes where your brokerage doesn't hold the listing?
If it's on the MLS, you're able to run it. That's the answer, right? We are pulling data from the MLS. So if it exists there, even if it's not associated with your brokerage, you can totally run it. And so I'll very quickly walk through the 2 ways that you can run it. The first way is you're going to get an email if a listing is associated with your agent ID. And that email will tell you your video is ready. And all you have to do is click activate ad, and you're going to be able to run the ad, right? The second way is to go into mission control, which now you have a login for. The QR code to access that is right here, ylopo.co/agent diva. It's also a link in your stars platform. So if you ever go into a listing details section of your Follow Boss account to see the view history, there's a big button at the top to get to mission control. And there's going to be a button that says create listing ad, and you just have to drop in the MLS number that you're looking for. We can find the listing as well, right? So easiest way is to click activate ad from your email. If you want to look for a specific listing, go into mission control and put in the MLS number. Once you do that, we're going to show you the listing to confirm that it's the right listing. You're going to confirm all of your agent details, put in your credit card if you haven't done so, and that's it. You press launch, it's going to go.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, if you guys are going to try something new in your business, Diva or otherwise, if you're up for growing and trying something new, I want you to put a Y in the chat. Commit to doing something new in your business, including, and or limited, not limited to Diva, but fantastic. We've got a lot of people that are saying, Barry, I hear the challenge. I'm going to execute on something new in my business this week. I mean, yeah, we're flooded with whys, and that's what this is all about, guys. It's about not just offering you technology because you don't already have enough things to do. It's because if you're going to set yourself apart in an industry with thousands and thousands of agents in your market fighting for the same business, you're going to have to do things differently. Running ads like Diva, it's not enough. Run the ad and then use the design studio. Right? Because if you just tell your client, I'm going to run an ad for you, that doesn't set you apart. You've got to run the ad. You got to go through the difficult process of learning how to use the design studio and start setting yourself apart. The opportunity is yours. Go make it happen. Yeah, we tons of whys, G. We've got tons of stuff, tons of people that are ready to make it happen.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate you joining today. Thank you, Barry.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.